Good morning, everybody. Well, we're back. We're live. It's going to be another morning, 2 hours of actually answering your questions is the name of the game about the car industry, mainly the retail car industry. If you're buying or leasing a car, or you have to maintain or repair your car, if you have an accident, you have a collision issue, dealing with insurance companies, we pretty much heard it all. We've been doing this for 20 years. Of course, things are changing extremely fast. The past 3 years have been warp speed and evolution of the retail and wholesale auto industry, manufacturing. Things are just changing so fast that we don't know what to talk about from one week to the next because there's so many interesting dynamics. Electric vehicles, autonomous vehicles, just absolutely nutty stuff that 30, 40 years ago we thought about that as the future, and we actually thought about that as maybe just a pipe dream. It's science fiction. Can't happen.com. Well, it happened. And here we are in the most exciting. I just, as a car dealer, an old car dealer, I've been around since 1968, I guess I have a better perspective on things because, yeah, I started out in the business. We didn't even have seatbelts. And sold a lot of cars without air conditioning, without power steering. I mean, sometimes you go to a used car lot and you buy a car, the only accessory was a radio. And now here we are. I mean, now there's so many accessories on the cars you buy. We have another problem. You can't remember what accessories you have, and the ones that you do have, you don't know how to operate. Our cars, our new cars that we buy today and drive, are like an airliner was, and maybe 30, 40 years ago. I mean, it just, you would never try to fly an airplane, would you? Well, now it's kind of hard to even drive a car. Well, you can drive the car, but you can't get all your money out of it. When you spend X dollars for a car, say $45,000, $50,000 for a new car, you're paying for a lot of gadgetry, and actually useful gadgetry. If that's a contradiction in terms, it probably is. But you're paying for a lot of stuff you don't use because you don't know how, or you can't use it. And we'll try to help you there. This guy sitting to my right here in the studio, Rick Kearney, he stays on top of this stuff. If you recently bought a car, used or new, I can almost guarantee you there's some things on that car you can't quite figure out how to use properly, or you might not even know they're there. You have features in your car that you probably don't know. Well, call the show. Tell us what kind of car you have, and we might cheat a little bit and Google it for you, but chances are Rick has got most of it right up there in his head. Call us. That's the key. Call us, 877-960-9960. 877-960-9960. I went off on a rant there because I get excited about this show. I really love doing it, and this sounds like flattery to you, the listener, but I do learn something new on this show. I mean, who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I'm an old dog. I learn new tricks every week, sometimes from you, sometimes from Rick, sometimes from Nancy, sometimes from Stu. This is an evolution, this is an information revolution that we have 2 hours of exchanging ideas, asking questions, answering questions, all about cars. And as I say, Rick Kearney, if you've got a car that you have any questions about, operation, trouble with a car, how to get it fixed, where to get it fixed, how much to pay to get it fixed, just call us at 877-960-9960. Now, I have to go through a litany of other ways to reach us. Our preferred method, because we'd like to hear your voice, is 877-960-9960. But we've got 5 lines, and in reality, we can't take all phone calls. So we have a lot of other venues. We've got texting, 772-497-6530. If you can write this down, write it down. If you send us a text, we'll get to it. We'll get to it later in the show maybe, but we've got 2 hours. We'll get to it. 772 497-6530. And usually the last half hour, if we haven't got to a text, I'll get them out before we do the mystery shopping report, which is something else I have to mention. It is truly the most interesting part of the show, probably the most informative part of the show. It's definitely entertaining, and we have some laughs. Maybe we shouldn't laugh at some of these bad things that happen with mystery shopping reports. And we also have some extraordinarily good mystery shopping reports. We've had, in the past 30 days, I believe we've given scores of A or better, A minus A plus. We've given A's to 2 dealerships. I don't remember that ever happening before. We score the mystery shopping report. We ask you to call in after we read the mystery shopping report, between 9:30 and 10 Eastern Standard Time, and we ask you to score the report, and we put this on the good dealer, bad dealer list, which you can access on our blog at earloncars.com. earloncars.com. And you can look at the make of car you want. You're looking for a Chevrolet, check out Chevrolet dealers. I'm not saying you're going to find a Chevrolet dealer in your area with an A, but if they're on the recommended list, even if they have a D, they pass, because we grade on the curve. There are no perfect car dealers, certainly, and that includes myself. We are not perfect, but we have to have a list that you can refer to. If we score it on the absolute basis of A, B, C, D, F, and we flunked everybody, where are you going to buy a car? I mean, we have a situation in the world, I started to say the United States, where most car dealers are trying to rip you off. Now, I know I'm irritating a lot of people by saying that, but it's true. You're all familiar with the annual report, the Gallup Annual Ethics and Honesty. If you're not, Google it. Honesty and Ethics in Professions by the Gallup organization. They've been doing this since 1977, I think, or in the 70s. And they ask you, of all the different businesses, which ones do you regard with the highest integrity and the lowest integrity? Bottom line, car dealers at the bottom. If they're not at the bottom, they're second or third. I mean, if they're third from the bottom, that's a good year for a car dealer. Usually they're on dead bottom, along with lobbyists, politicians, and who else? Direct mail solicitors, or
drug dealers, assassins.
I don't think they have drug. Stu was just kidding you.
Okay.
So anyway, high point of the show between 9:30 and 10 Eastern Standard Time, Mystery Shopping Report. You make the show. Nancy and I driving to the show this morning. She says, "What are we going to talk about?" I says, "We're going to talk about what you want to talk about," meaning the customer. meaning the listener.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Yeah. I thought you meant too. He said that very seriously.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about what you want.
I did say that. So they're attacking me now because it was a slip of the tongue.
It's early.
At any rate, seriously, if you don't call the show or you don't text the show, and I forgot almost, youtube.com/RolandCars. Go to YouTube. You can stream us. You can see us live and in color. Rick Kearney monitors the YouTube. Facebook.com/RolandCars. Stu Stewart, he's sitting right across from me. He monitors that.
The real party's over at YouTube, though.
Oh,
the real party's going over there
the party,
at YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube is
a lot of viewers on YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know why, but anyway, I do know why. I mean,
because I'm awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I won't say
it's
anything.
Rick, and Facebook is not as cool as YouTube.
Hey, well, what kind of ratings did we get last Saturday, Jonathan?
There was a spike at one point during the show. I don't know what happened.
And we had one more that I'll mention before I turn the mic over to Nancy Stewart, and that is the anonymousfeedback.com. Anonymousfeedback.com. It's a URL. It's a website, youranonymousfeedback.com. And that's confidential, private. You've heard of the tip line. You can call the cops if you're afraid you're going to be found out and shot by the crook that you turned in. They have an anonymous feedback line. I have also on the show your anonymous feedback. If you have something that you're afraid is going to hurt my feelings or Nancy's feelings or Rick's or Stu's feelings, you can say it anyway. We'll read it on the air. We don't edit anything. We don't censor. Well, we do. We take the 4-letter words out. If something is said that's really obscene or profane or something, we'll say expletive deleted. But we'll get to the essence of the comment. YourAnonymousFeedback.com. Now, Nancy Stewart, a co-founder of the show, and she has done something absolutely amazing over the years, and she has brought you ladies from whatever you were doing to the telephones and to the texting and to the emailing, and she has got you involved in Earl on Cars. We started out, it was an old boys club. Nobody but guys calling in. Now we have about 50-50. And she's done that. She had a very great idea. She'll tell you about it just shortly, because she incentivizes you. She'll tell you what that is in just a second. And when you call the show, you feel good about it. Then you tell your friends about it. You spread the word, and other ladies call, and that's what we have. It's our very best texter, by the way, and emailer is a woman. We have a lot of amazing women out there, thanks to Nancy Stewart. So the mic is yours, Nancy. Tell us what's on your mind this morning.
Good morning. Welcome to Earl Stewart on Cars. To the women who have called the show and moved us in this direction, I thank you. This morning I have $50 for the first 2 female callers. Yes, $50 for the first 2 female callers. Give us a call, 877-960-9960. For you others, you can text us at 772-497-6530. As Earl said, don't forget YourAnonymousFeedback.com. And I have a question for our audience. I was just wondering, do you think that an electric car is going to save you some money? Is it something you would consider? And I hope by now that you have picked up the 2023 auto issue of Consumer Report. Boy, I'll tell you what, it has a lot of information in it. We have a great mystery shopping report to get to from Vero Beach, and, well, a heck of a lot of news and things to share with you. Again, that number is 877-960-9960. Has anyone heard about Elon Musk planning a Texas utopia? Yes, about 35 miles right outside of Austin. It's going to be interesting. And
Building his own city, amazing.
Yeah, an interesting article. You might want to take a look at that. You can pull that up on the internet. We are going to go to Warren, who has been holding from New Jersey. Good morning, Warren.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're well, thank you.
I got 2 notes before I ask a question. I was down by your neck of the woods for 2 months, got back yesterday, and now it's snowing in New Jersey. It hasn't snowed all year, but it's snowing today.
Enjoy.
So enjoy. The other thing, you can wish me a happy birthday. It's my birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Rick,
Thank
sing.
you.
No, I'm just
Rick.
kidding.
Anyway, I got a question for Earl. And I know you've talked about leasing and buying on infinitum over the years. But I'm looking around cars, and my always philosophy was I didn't like to tie up money in a car, and I used to lease cars. And I'm looking at new cars. Can you negotiate the buyout at the end of the lease? Is that negotiable, or would they say the car is $20,000 to buy it out? That's what it is, and there's nothing you could do about it.
On a closed-end lease, you cannot negotiate that. There were other versions of leases at some time or another, which I don't think really exist anymore, where I think there was, I don't know if Ford did that, but I think that Ford can negotiate the buyout with the FMAC.
Well, it's important to know what Susie said, that it's non-negotiable, but it isn't so much on you, it's the dealer that's going to try to negotiate, because he's going to try to buy that from you at a lower price. Typically, the purchase option prices today are a bargain, and the dealer will not offer you to buy it at the purchase option price. As a matter of fact, it's the lessor, the leasing company, that actually buys the car back, and you are contractually guaranteed that option price. They can't charge you, meaning the dealer, 1 nickel above that price. Most people don't know that, and unfortunately some dealers ignore it. It has only become has only come to the surface recently. In South Florida, we had a big stink with when WPLG Channel 10 television found out that a lot of dealers are charging thousands over. They're trying to buy the car for less and then adding more money to the purchase option price. So you can't do that. Your purchase option price is the price you pay, not 1 penny more.
You know, I know that happened to somebody when COVID started. His lease was up, and the dealership not only told him, just put out lied to him, saying in Florida you can't buy a car off a lease. And he believed him. I mean, yeah, I tried to tell him it wasn't true, but he refused to do any research on it. He let them buy the car, take the car back, and rebuy it from them, and cost them thousands of dollars. I mean, it was just unbelievable. It was just crazy. They committed an absolute crime on it. But you know, so the question that I actually answered the question, but because of the high prices of cars, again, I've been thinking about leasing it because obviously the payments are going to be lower. But have you changed your mind about leasing and buying? Are you still most of you're still better off buying, even though the cars are now $45,000-$50,000? Are you still adamant that buying is a better deal?
Well, real quick, now for sure. I mean, most of the major manufacturers' leasing programs, like incentives, are at still at not an all-time low, but they're very low right now. So there's not a lot of supported lease programs like incentives. So right now, for example, just speaking for Toyota, I mean, we do feel buying is a better option, but especially now, there doesn't seem to be a lot of incentive to go in there. The payments aren't that low. They're just standard lease rates now.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. You answered my question, and you have a great day.
Thank you, Warren.
Yeah, got it.
Give us a call again. We're going to go to Bob in Lake Park. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning. How is everybody today?
Great.
Good.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I got one for Rick.
Yep.
Okay, he's right here.
Okay, great. On my Mustang, I told you I had problems with the power points, and it wasn't the fuses or the relay. You told me to get it diagnosed, which I did. And apparently the body control module is not sending the signal to the relay. Is there any way of resolving that without having to replace the whole module? Because everything else on the car works.
Actually, there is, but it's kind of a shade tree method. What I would do in that case, I would offer this to the customer where we would simply run a wire from the ignition source to the relay, telling the relay to turn on when the key was on. And basically, I would cut that relay out of the original circuit, and I would create a new circuit just so that when you turn the key on, that power outlet would get power only while the key is on.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. That's really nice to know. All right. So there is an alternative because the module is quite expensive. So, you know.
Right.
Even if you want to use one, and then you have to reprogram the keys and everything. So yeah, no, that's a good. Okay, so you're just going to bypass put in a bypass. That's basically what you're doing. I have another question. I have a friend that has an Audi, a little two-seat Audi, very fast car with the engine in the back, and he needed a new battery. You want to take a guess on how much they whacked him for to put that in?
Well, I'm going to say $575.
Over 800.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah. And when he told me, I think the one thing that came to my mind, Earl had a couple of people call a few weeks ago about complaining about how much they had to pay to have some programming done on their E-Class Mercedes. And I'm saying to myself, if you buy an E-Class Mercedes or a BMW or a Jaguar or an Aston Martin, whatever it might be, once the car is out of warranty, you're going to be on the hook. You're going to pay some money to have those things fixed.
German engineering.
Yes, I get it. I don't understand why people complain about how much they have to pay if they're going to drive that type of car.
They're engineering the money right out of your pocket into theirs.
Right. And I have something for Stu. I saw a couple of online. I saw Bremen Honda is advertising that if you go to him, the one in Green Acres, if you go to his store, that they're not selling anything that's MSRP. It's under, if you want to buy under MSRP.
That was Bremen BMW.
Bremen Honda.
Bremen Honda. Okay.
In
Well,
Green Acres.
well,
Yeah.
thank you for the tip.
Yeah, and the other one that I had called on before, I don't know if you want to shop them, but the other one I had called on before that you did shop was the Nissan 441 Nissan guy, and he just changed his commercial, and he's now not only saying that they're selling MSRP, but he also says in the commercial, no markups, no markups. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
All right, so we got Bremen Honda, and who's the second one?
Southern 441. They're bandits out there. I don't know how they get away with their TV commercials. I mean, they don't even try to be honest on the air, and somehow they get away with it.
I know, but now he's also advertising along with the below MSRP, which you already exposed him to that. I told you about it, and you went over and shopped them. But now he's also saying no markups in addition.
We'll find
so I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. And one other thing for Earl, I think you might want to consider, I've been listening to you for a long time, but I think you might want to change the name of your show, Earl Stewart on Teslas.
Some shows are like
that. I plead guilty to that, and I apologize. I know I talk too much about Teslas, and we drove to work in our Tesla this morning, and part of if you haven't driven an electric car, it's a thrill. I mean, it's a car that gets people excited, and I shouldn't let it bleed over on the air because most people, only 5.3% of the people have electric cars, and I'm yakking too much about them. I know that.
What other car maker has 60% market share?
There you go.
They're pretty extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. You all
Bob, we promised not to go on this Saturday morning about Tesla and our disagreements back and forth, but it is a great car to drive.
Thank you. I'm a long-time listener. I remember when you used to be on the other station.
Oh, do you? Oh, great.
Seaview, yeah.
I've been listening for a long time, so you never had talked about Teslas because they didn't come around. So that was better. So, okay, well, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks for listening. We're going to go to Jay. Who's calling us from Hope Sound? Good morning, Jay.
Hey, good morning. I've got a few questions. One of them is it a good time to buy a new car right now?
It's a difficult question. It'll be a better time in 6 months, and I've been saying that for 3 years. We had this wild market adjustment with the COVID, the pandemic, and the supply chain issues, and prices soared all the way to the stratosphere. Now they're back down to about 10,000 feet, but they're not back down to ground zero, and no one knows if they will be there. Bottom line is new cars are less expensive today than they were 6 months or 12 months or 18 months ago, but they're more expensive than they will be by the end of 2023. So the question is, how long do you want to wait? How long do you want to postpone the pleasure? People love to buy cars. And as a car dealer, I'm very happy about that. And they buy cars not because they have to have them sometimes, because they want them, and because they're fun and they're it's become a part of American life. So if it's all budget, keep the old car, wait another year, and you'll probably get a much better price. But hey, life is short. If it brings you enough pleasure between now and 12 months from now when the prices drop, buy it. You get your pleasure out of it, and to heck with the fact that you're going to save money. You enjoyed life a little bit more.
Yeah, I hear that, and I've been waiting 2 years to buy a new car. I keep putting it off, hoping the prices will come down because the chips are being delivered to the factories and all that. But anyway, one other question is it good to time at your purchase like towards the end of the month? I've heard you'll be able to get a better deal because the dealer wants to push their inventory at the end of the month?
See, that's one of the reasons why prices are so high. The answer is no. 3 years ago, it was a huge advantage to buy them toward the last of the month, and because there were excess inventories, everybody was paid on commission. It was dog eat dog competition, and everybody's looking for market share. And a car that you sold on the last day of the month, you could sell at a loss, hit a quota that would mean a big bonus from the manufacturers or the dealer. Today, none of the above exists. The cars aren't available, and you have to wait. Typically, if you want the car that you really want, if you take whatever's in the inventory and you want to pay too much money, you can buy a car today. But the salespeople are lazy today. I mean, my own salespeople, all salespeople, and I don't mean literally, I mean they don't have to hustle because the buyers are lined up, and it's all a matter of price. If you want to, we mystery shopped a Kia dealer, and you'll hear about this at the end of the show, and they were asking thousands and thousands, I think $9,000 market adjustment, and a whole lot more on top of a Kia Telluride. And that was the price, and the mystery shopper walked out because they wouldn't come down one nickel over like $9,000 over a sticker. So he doesn't care whether it's the last day of the month, or the first day of the month, with the high demand, low supply situation. Every day is a bad day to buy a car today.
And Toyota of Hollywood's advertising a Corolla lease for $149 a month. And do you think that would be a good deal? And is Toyota of Hollywood a good dealer to go to?
Stu will answer that, but I know what his answer is going to be.
You can speak for me.
Read the fine print.
Right.
Read the fine print. Nobody's going to lease you a Corolla for that price.
Yeah.
There's a very big down payment in the fine print, thousands of dollars. And why?
I figured as much.
Yeah. And it
Even
isn't
in
just the
normal
dealers
times.
that do that. The manufacturers do that. I mean, my God, can you imagine General Motors, Honda, Toyota, Ford actually breaking the law in a national commercial? I mean, what's this country coming to? The Federal Trade Commission says anything in an advertisement that modifies the advertised price has to be displayed prominently alongside of the price in the same bold type and font size as the price they're advertising. And nobody does that, and nobody does anything about it. The regulators are sitting on their hands. The legislators who make the laws, they know they're breaking the law. And everybody stands by and ignores it. I could see Napleton Hyundai or Napleton Kia. You know, he's our bad boy of South Florida as a car dealer. I could see him doing that kind of stuff, but I can't see Nissan and I can't see Toyota, my own franchise, advertising products on leases and hiding the down payment and the fine print. It's just unethical and illegal.
Well, that's Toyota of Hollywood. Are they a good dealer?
They're pretty aggressive. I think you might. We've shopped them before, and they're making a lot of money down there.
Yeah. Aggressive is a great word. It definitely describes them.
Pardon?
I'd be better off with your dealership.
That's a personal choice.
Well, that's up to you.
What was the question?
He'd be better off at our dealership. I said it's always a
Well,
personal
yeah,
choice.
you would.
Definitely.
You would be better off at our dealership. I hate to answer questions like that because my competition and other car dealers who I attack say Earl isn't doing an honest show. He's just trying to sell cars from his own dealership. So every time.
Exactly. I understand. All right. Thanks a lot. You guys have a great day.
And Jay, if you continue to listen, this website is very important to all of us. www.Florida Law Protecting Car Buyers. And I'll tell you what, it is worth its weight for you to take a look and read that at Earl on Cars. And there is absolutely no reason for anybody to pay market adjustment. It's ridiculous. And don't forget, everything is negotiable. You're still in the driver's seat. 877-960-9960. You can text us at 772-497-6530. Don't forget, youranonymousfeedback.com. We're going to go to Boca, where Mel has been holding. Thank you for your patience, Mel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having the show. That kind of leads me into my question about buying cars. The MSRP, is there any dealerships that actually you can negotiate below MSRP at this stage of the game here?
Yes,
absolutely.
not many.
Absolutely.
We've actually done some mystery shopping reports. It's very rare, but what happens typically at this stage of our pandemic, economic recession, or whatever you want to call it, at this stage, we're seeing less desirable cars go below MSRP. If you have a car, I mentioned earlier, we mystery shopped them, a Kia dealer on the Kia Telluride. The Kia Telluride is one of the top 10 cars by Consumer Reports, best cars for 2023. So, when you get that kind of a rating, everybody wants to buy it, and there's just not enough Kia Tellurides to go around. So they do get all the money, thousands and thousands, over MSRP. Now, there are other cars that have less desirable equipment, colors, and models and ratings, and you can negotiate those pretty well. But it's kind of a sad situation when the only place you can get a good price below MSRP is on the less desirable cars. But that's about it.
And we have seen some incentives too, some rebates that help to bring it down.
Yeah.
We saw one.
So what are the advantages of buying a car from your dealership? I mean, do you guys? Can you throw out some things? Are you allowed to say that?
Well, again, we're timid about it, but I will answer the question. All we do is what any retail operation should do. We're like Amazon, we're like Costco, we're like Target, we're like Walmart. You walk into our store and ask how much a car is. We tell you our best price. And that's pretty much it. We don't add hidden fees. We don't add dealer install accessories. And we say to our customers, this is our lowest price. This is the price I'd sell my mother the car for, my sister. If the President of the United States came in, he's not going to get a better price. Everybody pays the same price. And that's the lowest price we will sell the car for. But it's not necessarily the lowest price another dealer will sell the car for. Now, we say that a little tongue-in-cheek because the reality is that the dealers won't sell it lower than MSRP today. That's what our price is, by the way. We put MSRP out the door on all of our cars. And as prices come down, we will lower that below MSRP. So we give you, the buyer, the right of shopping and comparing prices. That's what I love about Amazon. I go to Amazon, I want to buy a chamois to wash my car with. So on Amazon, they tell me the price of the chamois. I can't negotiate that price. They give me the price. But then I could go to 8 other vendors and find the same chamois, and if I could get it for less money, I buy it. That's the right of the shopping consumer. I give you that right at our dealership. Other dealers don't tell you the price. You cannot get an out-the-door price from 99.9% of the car dealers. They will give you, if you buy the day price, but it won't be good tomorrow, and then they will say, I won't give you a price. Go out and get your best price and come back in, and I'll beat the price, which is probably a lie. And that's what sets us apart from the other dealers.
I see. All right, so that's basically the whole story there. So you guys don't charge any dealer fees or anything like that, you said, or you?
No.
Correct, Mel. And for me to wrap this up right now, because we have some calls backed up, car buying simplified. There is absolutely no reason to pay more than MSRP. That's it, bottom line. Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
We're going to go to Joe in Port St. Lucie. Good morning, Joe.
Hi, good morning. Thank you. You guys run a nice show.
Oh, thank you.
Question. yesterday I purchased my 2019 Honda CRV. I just bought it, and I want to get an extended warranty. Can you guys give a recommendation on which companies offer the best?
Rick, you got any ideas?
I would talk to a Honda dealer.
Yeah,
I would get some.
I did. I hate to cut you off, but from what I was told, if you do that, you have to bring it back to Honda for any repairs.
I'm not sure. Most dealers sell their own warranties or another company's warranties, not the manufacturer's warranties. And
Right.
and the ones that I'm familiar with, usually they're able to be redeemed in any ASC certified shop, and so that includes dealers and independent shops as well. Is that what the Honda dealership told you, or was that just
Yes,
assumption?
one of the service advisors. A while back, I knew I was going to
okay.
buy
You
the
can
car.
call around.
The
There's
lease was up.
Yeah, there's probably a million Honda dealerships around. You probably call a couple, and you'll probably get different information. That's a good place to start. But I also think your insurance company might be able to point you in the right direction. AAA, I think, is also a source of information for service contracts.
Years ago, I had a Cadillac for my wife, a STS. Back during the financial crisis, they were practically giving it away.
Right.
And I remember I bought one. The company's name was, I believe, Fidelity.
Okay,
Does
yeah,
that ring
that's
a bell, that
jamming
name?
it. Yeah, that's a warranty company from a product from a Jam Family and Associates, Fidelity Warranties. It's a big company.
Joe, a good rule of thumb is you just take good care of your CRV, and the money you pay for an extended warranty is probably not going to be worth what you spend.
Thank you.
It's if you got a good car. The Honda is a good car. I'm assuming you're taking good care of it. If you do the factory recommended maintenance, you're not going to need an extended warranty.
And whatever you do, don't do those car shields that you see on TV with the celebrities. Those-
No, I would never do that. That's, again, I want to thank you guys. I mean, you're so down to earth and honest. In this world, it's amazing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the compliment,
Very
Joe.
much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Earl Stewart on Cars. Our number here is 877-960-9960. You can also text us at 772-497-6530. Ladies, I know you're out there. I know you're listening. Give us a call. How was your service? How was your servicing experience? How was your purchasing experience? I have $50 for the first two new female callers. 877-960-9960. We're going to go to Marty, who's been holding. Good morning, Marty. Welcome. Welcome back.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
We're well, thank you.
I got two questions for Stu. The first question is, I've been waiting now a year for my car.
Oh, boy.
I got it in my
I
driveway.
haven't gotten it. I figured if I talk to you, I'll get a 24. I figured the 23's out of touch. But anyways, here's my real question. My wife has a CRV that has 1 year left on the lease. So I assume this situation's going to be on for another year, but who knows? So what I want to do is I want to buy her car out. Now, if I go to your dealership for a RAV4, once I buy it, do I have to wait till I get the title from Honda in order to trade it into you, or would you do it before I get all the paperwork?
We would need you to get the title, or at least have the producing title imminent. So yeah, we can't sit on that and wait for that to process. But are you're planning on buying it out early before the end of the lease?
Well, I can, because what they do, and I'm sure Toyota's the same, every payment I make lowers the buyout price until it gets to the residual.
Yeah, you're close. It doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, but I'm going to wait the year out probably.
Yeah.
There's no sense paying $20,000 when I can pay the few hundred a month that I'm paying.
Yeah.
But right now I went to Honda, and they won't even touch that same price I'm paying for like a 23 lease for the same car. It's like $200-300 more they want per month.
Right. Are they charging anything over the
Well,
buyout?
they told me buy it directly from Honda.
From Honda.
They said don't buy it from Ed Morse.
Really? Oh, who told you that? Ed Morse?
What? Not Ed. He has my back, but
Okay.
he didn't do it. He one of the salespeople told me.
Okay. So they
Just
didn't say
buy
what
it.
would happen. They just advised you to go through. Okay.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
watching
'cause
out for you.
You know, people kid me about driving a Tesla, and I'm a Toyota dealer. Teddy Morris drives a motorcycle, so
Right.
that's
Do
even
they
worse.
have a Harley dealership?
Yeah, he does.
He does?
He bought out the Bruce Rossmeyer up in Daytona.
Oh, he is
Really?
He's
Okay.
a motorcycle dealer.
Wow.
Wow, I
There you
didn't know
go.
that.
So it's legit.
Did not know that.
How could you blame him? He said he's a cool-looking guy.
Yeah. So let me just ask Stu, do you have a feeling that I might get my loaded Camry?
I have a feeling you're going to get it any day now, but that's completely unrealistic feeling. No, I'm just teasing. The best person to speak to is Jason or Laura, and I'm sure you're aware of them. And I'll touch base with them and see if they have a feeling, because my feeling is irrelevant, because I haven't been studying the list or seeing how fast they're coming in. I am seeing we had some lower than expected wholesale new cars sent to us by Toyota. The allocations, it's all based on production, and it was less than was forecasted, and we had to adjust our forecast for the month of February because we just couldn't get the cars to sell.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's a long-term trend. It goes up and down. For example, even though it's only the 11th of the month, we're leading all the Toyota dealers in the South Florida market right now because we just got more cars. It's not because we're that's the simple reason. We have to live by the ebb and flow of the inventory.
Yeah. All right. Luckily, my car runs good. I have no problems, so I'll just hang on to it.
You're in good shape, Marty. There's a lot of customers out there right now that are on that long waiting list. And as Stu mentioned, Jason and Laura, we're all trying to do the best we can to stay in touch with everyone, keep them informed, and let them know we haven't forgotten about them, but there is a wait, and that's the bottom line. Patience.
Okay. Well, Earl should know that he's not going to go out of business for many, many, many years.
Absolutely.
Because even though Tesla, I know I'm not supposed to say it, but Tesla lowered their prices again on threes and Ys, and I'm still sticking with my Camry.
Elon knows what he's doing, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
He's messing up our used EV situation now.
Right. All right. Well, have a great day, and thanks for the information.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you for always tuning in. We are going to go to Howard, who is a regular, and he's calling us from Jupiter. Good morning. Welcome, Howard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're all doing well.
Yeah.
I have a question for Rick.
Sure.
Okay.
Rick, I drove my son's Mini Cooper. It had 3 cylinders and a turbo.
I'm sorry.
Now, I remember years ago when the turbos came out, there was a lag. You you step on the gas all the way down, there was a lag. Now, when I drove my son's Mini, it had 3 cylinders, and what happened is that the thing was very fast. So my question to you is, why doesn't Toyota use turbos?
We do. Most of our new
Really? I
4
didn't know
cylinders
that.
coming out now are turbocharged. The new Tundra is a V6 turbocharged.
In the last couple of years,
this
hasn't been like a long-going thing. It just in the last couple of years, they started bringing back in. It's for fuel efficiency and power. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they finally worked out the issues with turbo lag, and they were able to get them much more efficient and durable.
Yeah, but when you have a turbo, I was told, I don't know how true it is, you have to change the oil more often. Is this correct?
No. 10,000 miles on synthetic oil.
Okay, one other fast question. How often should the battery terminals be cleaned in a car?
Whenever they're dirty,
How do you know if they're dirty?
That's my question.
just looking at them. If there's
Corrosion and
if
stuff.
there's bluish stuff growing on it,
With a brush.
pardon me,
Brush it off.
just plain old water and a brush.
Okay. Let's give Rick
Excuse
a
me,
moment.
sorry
He's
about
got
that.
he's got a cough. So yeah, what is that stuff anyway? Is that it's not a live fungus? It's a buildup of minerals and metals and
It's
salts.
actually corrosion from battery acid gathering around the terminal.
Uh-huh.
The acid is in a vaporous form, so it corrodes right on the terminal there.
Okay. All right.
Clean water.
Clean
sorry,
water
folks.
will dissolve
Clean
it.
water and a toothbrush.
That's, all right. Brush the teeth of your battery. Okay. Let's move on. Hey, Howard. Let's
Yep.
got a question for me.
Yep.
Okay. So now let me ask you this question. Is that a service if I say clean my terminals?
They'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So, no, I come in, I have an oil change and everything. Say, oh, by the way, can you clean my terminals? But if they take off they unhook the battery, everything has to be reprogrammed again, correct?
No, most of the modern cars have a battery, basically a maintenance form. When you disconnect the terminal, even your clock stays correct. Your radio stations, all of that stays the same.
That's
okay,
good to know.
Okay,
I didn't know that.
One other question. If I want to do it myself, can I start the car and very carefully take the terminals off, wrap a sock around each one? The car will still be running if my alternator is good. Is that correct?
Yes, but the safest method really is simply pull up the plastic cover on the positive terminal, spray it with just clean water, use a toothbrush. If you want, mix water and baking soda.
Use your wife's toothbrush. Don't use yours.
Yeah, and just give it a good scrub down. Clean water to rinse it off. Let it dry for a couple hours, and then get some just simple grease or the battery terminal protector spray that you can buy at the auto parts store, and just give it a couple coats of that, and you're done.
Hey.
Don't even take the terminals off.
Oh, you don't unhook the terminals?
Howard.
Just
No
around?
need.
All right. There you go. Good do it.
Hey, Howard, it was great talking to you. Do you have any other questions?
No, I have a good day, and
Thank you so much. And
I'll hang up and I'll keep on listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We love hearing that. Keep on listening. Ladies, $50 for the first two new female callers. It is now 8:53. You have some time left to give us a call. Give us a call just to say hello. Give us a call to let us know how your service was, maybe your purchasing experience. How did you negotiate for whatever service you had? 877-960-9960. For you others, 772-497-6530. That's where you can text us in. Don't forget, your anonymousfeedback.com. We're going to go to John in West Palm Beach. Good morning, John.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. I'm got a question that from last week that I heard a caller, and I think the caller was already on. If I order a new car, can I avoid all those dealer markup fees? Is that what I heard last week?
Not necessarily. It depends on the dealership. If a dealership is honestly selling a car, without any markups, and you order a car from them, then they won't charge you that. Then there's dealers that will tell you they're charging it. They'll look in the eye, and there's dealers that will not tell you they're charging it. The car will come in, and they'll try to mark it up. But Earl has some thoughts on getting a solid, basically a contract when you order a car.
You shouldn't order any product, automobile or otherwise, without having a definite legally signed contract. So in the car business, they call it a vehicle buyer's order. And you need a vehicle buyer's order showing you the bottom line out the door price. That's on the bottom of of the buyer's order, and that means the only thing above the price they quoted you would be sales tax and license plate. In fact, on a vehicle buyer's order, that should be on there too. So you do have a literal out the door price, and you order the price. Now, the thing to keep in mind in today's crazy world, if you order a car and you have an out the door price quoted today, when that car comes in, we just talked to Marty, who's had a car on order at our dealership for a year. Well, the price that he originally was quoted will probably be less when the car comes in. We will honor that lower price, but other dealers might not. So I would say get a signed buyer's order with your bottom line price and an addendum to that vehicle buyer's order that says if the market price for the car is reduced at the time of delivery, then you will pass those savings along to me. Whether you can negotiate that with the dealer or not, I don't know. I mean, it's fair, but that doesn't say the dealer would do it. But whatever you do, don't leave it open-ended. If you leave it open-ended, then you're going to be right back where you started, and you're going to be arguing and negotiating and haggling over a car that you thought you bought 3 months ago.
Okay, very good. And then my last thing is the same. I think it was the same caller he was mentioning about. He was looking for the. He wanted one, but I guess he didn't get it. Was the Corolla GR, and they said there's you don't see any at the dealerships. Well, last week I happened to see one at Cars and Coffee, and it piqued my interest. And it was a sharp-looking car, and so I looked it up, and it's a 3-cylinder turbo.
Yep.
And putting out 300 horsepower. So how come we don't have Camrys with the V6 putting out 600 horsepower?
Well, this is a pretty pricey Corolla. I guess
Yeah.
It's a kind of a specialty car, yeah. But that would be kind of fun to drive too.
But anyways, I was just surprised to see that they were putting out a 3-cylinder, pushing out 100 horsepower per cylinder, and why can't they pass that on to the Camrys and that are 6 cylinders and getting 600 horsepower out?
This Toyota's kind of boring. That's why.
Yeah, all right, very good. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John. Keep on listening. 877-960-9960. Or you can text us at 772-497-6530. And remember, it takes some time, but select, a dealership that can give you the best out-the-door price. And remember that the, the true definition of the out-the-door price is one with only, boy, we both have it, Rick, is only the price that includes government fees and sales tax and a tag added. I hope that information will take you a long way. 877-960-9960. And we're going to go to Mary, who's calling us from Pompano Beach. She is a first-time caller.
Wow.
And this morning, she has won herself $50, and she can collect that by staying on the line after we speak with Jeremy, giving him your contact information, and I'll get that check out to you. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Nancy. First of all, I have to thank you. I was just turned on by a friend. I'm in the process of buying a car, and you really are providing an incredible service, all of you. I'll get back to you later on with what's going on. I want to put it all together, and I don't want to ramble about it now. But one question I have is that my family and I go up to New York for several months at a time. I live in a building on A1A, which is right on the beach, so there's a lot of moisture and everything. But what can we do to optimize our car in good condition while we're away? I know every time we come back, everybody does the same thing. They say their battery is dead. Can we disconnect the battery? I'll leave it to you and your expertise to tell us what to do, and we're grateful for your information.
Thank you.
The best choice is if you have a garage with electricity available. That'll protect you from the salt air, which the salt air is going to play havoc with your brakes. The electricity gives you the advantage of hooking up a trickle charger to your battery, which will keep the battery charged up and you won't have to worry about that. The other thing is, when you get back, the first thing you want to do is check your tire pressures and get them pumped up and make sure your tires are in good shape. And if you don't have electricity available, look into a solar-powered trickle charger. If your car is anywhere where even under a carport, the reflected sunlight will be enough to charge that battery and keep you charged up.
Mary, do you have any friends that you would trust to drive your car once a week while you're away?
Well, previously, when we were away, we did have a friend who lives in an adjacent building that would come every 10 days and run the car for about 10 to 15 minutes. And that worked out very well. But, I hate to depend on someone. And like I said, this is great information about the solar trickle charger. Unfortunately, I don't know if we really will have enough light because it's one of these large high-rise buildings. The first few floors are the garages. They are kind of open air on the sides, but there's no electric outlet, unfortunately. Like I said, people have told me that if you remove the left, I think the left terminal on the battery, and you just leave it off, when you come back, if you just put it on, everything's okay. Is that true?
Well, you can disconnect the negative terminal, and hopefully the battery will make it through the time while you're gone. But once it starts getting old, it may not last through that length of time. So you need to be aware of that. But yeah, always disconnect the negative terminal first and reconnect it last. The main reason for that being is if you've got a wrench or a tool on that terminal and you actually bump it against metal on the car, it's not going to cause any sparks because it's the negative touching a negative surface. Whereas if you've got it on the positive side, it can short out, and that can cause a lot of issues for you.
Hey, I'm wondering about a car cover. Do you think that would provide any protection from salt spray? I know she's in a parking garage, but even in there, you had your motorcycle in your parking garage, and
I have mixed emotions. I tried it, and this is purely anecdotal on my part.
You're experimenting.
It seemed to me my motorcycle rusted more with the cover on
Absolutely.
it.
Yes.
I think the idea of having
in there.
the fresh air, even though there's salt in the fresh air, I think when the salt's trapped under something, I think it tends
and the moisture
the
just
deterioration
never dries out.
was amazing that took
Exactly
place.
correct.
So don't get a car cover.
It really, enhanced the deterioration. Mary, how long do you leave your car for?
Well, let's see. Last year it was 2 months, but once it was when we first moved down here, we had to go back because of supply issues, no furniture, and we went back for about 4.5 months. The 4.5 months, the car was just left in the garage. We didn't anticipate being away that long, and the building staff is great, and they jumped the battery. Unfortunately, I think took the car to. I won't even say which Honda, but, they said immediately, oh, you need a new battery. And I said, well, this is now October, and I just got a brand new battery in April when I left New York. How could the battery be that bad? And, they said, oh, no, the heat is the worst thing for the battery. So I acquiesced and I bought a new battery. Because you don't want to get stuck anywhere, especially when you've just moved somewhere and you really don't know where you are.
Yeah.
We're anticipating leaving for a couple of months again. And I just wanted to ask, when you say to remove the battery terminal, the negative first, should I be removing both? Because a lot of the practice in this building, not that I know that this is the best practice, they say just remove the negative.
Right.
And leave the...
Yeah, it's just the negative.
Okay, that's great. And
Mary, Mary, do you have a keyless remote? Where do you leave that when you go north?
we leave the remote in the unit in case something happens that they have to move the cars. So it is available, but it's left up in the apartment.
I asked that because Rick explained to me, I didn't know this, but
Yeah.
it sends out checks to the car and periodically to talk to electronically, wirelessly talk to the car, and that can put a draw on your battery. But if you got the negative terminal disconnected, then you don't have a problem.
Right. And it only does that if it's like within 50 or 60 feet of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mary, whenever you whenever you mentioned your previous trip and you had somebody, that was available for 15, 20 minutes to start your car, I can't tell you, I've learned from my own experience how beneficial it is to have somebody, do more than 15 or 20 minutes running the car, but to take it out and to, take it for a ride. It's definitely a big advantage, but sometimes you can't do that. So, whatever kind of attention you can have paid to your vehicle while you're away, I guess it's better than nothing.
And then when you do get back into town, once you get the car started up, take it out for like a nice 20 or 30 minute drive.
Definitely.
Just to get that battery charged back up.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine then.
Mary, I was gone for 2 weeks, came back, my car's dead. So there you go, and it's in a garage. So that's, that was my experience. Mary, it's definitely been a pleasure to talk with you. We all here want to thank you for giving us a call and helping me build the platform right here for the ladies.
You're absolutely wonderful, Nancy. Let me just ask you one other question.
Sure.
This is what triggered my asking this question. I heard you say that even when you disconnect the battery, I have a 2018 Honda CRV. It will not lose all its radio stations, all its electronic.
You're right.
No.
Breaking up, but it sounds like we know what you're saying.
Yeah, the clock and the radio, they should keep all their memory alive.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks for being part of the show. Don't forget to stay on and talk to, give the control room your information so I can get that check out to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nancy.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, everyone.
Have a great weekend. We are going to go to Linda, who also is a first-time caller. She's calling from Plantation. Thank you for your patience, Linda.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You won yourself $50 this morning, and if you stay on the line, you can leave your contact information, and I can get that check out to you. What can we do for you, Linda?
Thank you. I just want to say that I'm outraged over the price of cars, what the prices are currently going for. I'm a Corvette owner. I've owned a Corvette for probably the past 25 years. And right now, the dealers, they want to charge $5,000, $10,000, or even $15,000 over sticker price. And I won't give in to that. I know that there are two dealers in the United States, the biggest Corvette dealers. They will sell it at sticker price. But the problem is you have to wait 12 to 14 months in order to get the car when they get their allocation. And I'm just so angry at how the prices of cars have been the past few years.
Yeah, it's just totally amazing. And, I rant and rave, or Earl, he talks about how upset I get about this market adjustment. And Rick just shared with us, what was it, Rick? A Toyota Corolla?
2023 Toyota GR Corolla.
GR Corolla.
Which is the Gazoo racing car.
Yeah, $20,000 over MSRP. I mean, does the Times justify this highway robbery?
Well, Linda, you've got the probably the most consistently over the years high demand, low supply car in the world. The Chevrolet Corvette is unique. And even before the pandemic and before this crazy market we've seen ourselves in for the past 3 years, Corvettes have always been the highest price with respect to MSRP. So I'd like to offer you some hope But I was amazed to hear you say there are 3 dealers that are selling Corvettes that sticker, and of course you have to wait months and months to get them. But you're just out of luck. If you want a Corvette, if you want a new Corvette, the dealers know that you can't buy one anywhere near MSRP and get the car. I mean, you could buy one at MSRP, but it'll be a year before you get your car. So you have to decide: do you want to enjoy the new Corvette, and how much do you want to enjoy it? $1,000 over MSRP, $10,000 over MSRP, $20,000. The more money you will pay over MSRP, the quicker you'll get that Corvette. I'll bet you can buy a Corvette today if you paid enough over MSRP. You'd have the pleasure of driving that car for a year. If you'd have gone to the dealer that's going to sell it at MSRP, it might not even be available in a year. So you're in a bad position, and I can't offer you a way out. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you're only in a bad.
I am doing.
Pardon me?
I do have a Corvette. I have a 2002 Corvette. So I'm going on 21 years with the car. It's a C5 model, a much older model than what is currently out there. And I am fixing that car up. I have about 55,000 miles, and I want to keep that car due to the high prices of the new ones. So I'm going to get new tires. I decided I'm going to get new wheels, new rims.
There you go. You have a choice. And it's amazing. You know, just earlier I had just mentioned, selecting dealerships that give you the out-the-door price. You sound like an educated consumer, Linda. You did just that, and you found, what did you say, 2 or 3 dealers that give you the out-the-door price. But right now, you're in the position where you can take and just, add a few bells and whistles, fix it up, tires, this, that, and the other thing. And you don't have to fall prey to this market adjustment. Let me go back to my anger about the market adjustment. It is just not necessary.
Agreed.
Why do we have to take advantage of all of these consumers with market adjustment? It makes no sense at all.
Because people are not willing to wait. Americans are very big spenders now, and I'm willing to wait.
Exactly.
I really am.
I mentioned patience earlier in the show, and it definitely patience, and whether you are in a situation where you can do what you're doing. You're an educated consumer, Linda.
Thank you. I enjoy your show tremendously. Thank you for the great job you guys do.
Thank you, Linda. Keep listening and spread the word. We're trying to build an audience here, a platform for the ladies. Our number here is 877-960-9960. You can also text us at 772-497-6530. Don't forget your anonymousfeedback.com. Now back to the recovering car dealer.
I promised I wouldn't talk about Tesla, but I've got a question for you Tesla owners out there. I was very depressed on last Thursday. I went to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned, and when I'm alone in the Tesla, I put it on autonomous. And so on the way home from the dentist, I'm going, seamlessly and safely, and everything's going fine. About 15, 20 miles from home. And when I got about 5 miles from home, suddenly my Tesla said, autonomous will remain off until the end of the trip. And I lost my autonomous driving. And when I got home and stopped the car, it said, we have given you a third strike. You have 2 more chances, and you will lose your autonomous completely. Now, that happened the other 2 times. It happened once to Nancy and once to me. I had my hands off the steering wheel, admittedly, which was stupid. But on the way home, I had one hand completely on the steering wheel, and it was actually a yoke, but steering wheel, and the other one just like 3 or 4 fingers on there. But it let me go 15 miles before it cut me off. Now I'm really worried because I've only got 2 strikes left, and I fully lose my autonomous. So any of you Tesla owners out there, if you have a tip for me, what was I doing wrong? Is are the cameras in the cockpit looking at my eyes, and did I touch my iPhone by accident, or did I look out the window instead of look at the windshield? I don't know what I did wrong. And I'm afraid to put it autonomous again.
I added my own Miss Nancy camera to the cockpit, and I did not tell you because you remember last week we talked about the autonomous feature, and it just really wasn't that safe. That's all I'll say.
Well, Donovan has been getting some good comments on YouTube today already.
Let's hear him.
If you got anything about this, Donovan, let me know. You mentioned earlier on the customer with the Honda asking about their extended warranty. He said, hey, it's a Honda. Do your basic maintenance and roll the dice, because they don't really need an extended warranty on a Honda. When the customer had mentioned turbos, he says most cars today have turbos. It's hard to find a new car out there without one, which, again, very true. And he's also mentioned on car covers that they trap the salt and moisture underneath it. And here he is, Earl. In an update that should come to you any day, there's a huge update to FSD. I'm guessing that's...
I heard about that. There is a huge update coming. I haven't received it yet.
And it lets up on the hand on the steering wheel requirement a lot. It also allows the FSD beta on the highway. FSD full self-driving. Okay.
Right.
So the update that's coming should relax some of the restrictions on your full self-driving. So that probably will save you from another strike. Thanks, Donovan.
Very helpful.
Thank you very much, Donovan.
He's my go-to helper on this, and Donovan is awesome.
Where's Donovan based?
Great.
I'm pretty sure he's local here in Palm Beach County.
Oh, is that right? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been a great asset. Thank you so much,
because he's
Donovan.
mentioned quite a few times things here in the county, places that he knows here in the county. He may travel quite a bit because seems like a businessman who does a lot of traveling.
He's an educated consumer, that's for sure.
Awesome guy. I'd love to get him in here for a show one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be great. Well, that's an invitation.
Yeah. There you go, Donovan.
Donovan, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you would really be valuable. So let us know, and we'll invite you over to the studio.
There you go. Speaking of another guest that we...
He says he's in Lake Worth, Florida.
Oh.
Is that right? I'll be darned.
Interesting.
Local.
Yeah.
Huh. Thank you, Donovan. Speaking of guests on our show, without a doubt, what an exciting guest this one would be. We're talking Road Runner Steve.
Maybe.
Hi, Steve.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good morning. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you. I got a little serious thing going on here.
Yeah.
I got this thing in the mail, license plate toll statement. Okay, the statement date was 2/11/2023. And the charges were $4.60, and the due date was March 10th, 2023. Okay, so I'm looking at it. I see my license plate number here. The location was East 470 Plaza B South, amount $4.60. So I said, let me give this number a call. I call up. It was a legit place, license plate toll. So I'm explaining to her, why I get this. Well, we got your license plate number, which she read off, and I see on the paper it was correct. I said, well, I don't drive on the turnpike in Florida. She goes, oh, no, Mr. Steve, this was in Colorado. I said, what? She goes, yes, Colorado. And this was happened in January 3rd of 2023. So I said, man, I never been to Colorado. Okay? And then again, I said, why would I be in Colorado in January when I live in Florida? And most of all, I can't drive at night.
Steve, let me ask you this.
Okay,
Steve?
Okay, Mr. Steve. She goes, let me go back to the computer again. She goes back to the computer. She goes, oh, we apologize. It wasn't a number. It was a letter. So we just assumed it was your vehicle.
Oh, jeez.
Colorado. Imagine that in the wintertime.
Yikes.
I mean, it's good. Good thing you weren't accused of a crime. I mean, they could have, you stuck up that gas station in Colorado, and we can prove it.
Yes, I know. But the funny thing is, if you get this, I assumed it was from Florida.
Yeah,
and you
sure.
know what happens when you assume. So if anybody in Florida gets one of these things, and they would say to themselves, "Oh yeah, I was on the turnpike that day."
Yeah.
It might not be from Florida State. It could be from anywhere.
Yeah. We have an attorney that drives there's only commercials I hate worse than car dealer commercials or attorney commercials. And there's, as you well know, Steve, in South Florida, there's a zillion of them on television. I'm talking mainly. And this one, I can't think of his name now. I'd say it if I could think of his name, but his uniqueness that he's selling to you, the potential customer, is he has a software program that is linked up to all the traffic lights, and he knows if you have an accident, he can get all the information on that intersection from this software. Now, I wasn't aware that a private individual, an attorney much less, could have that kind of, we talk about privacy. Apparently there's a software available, an app that you could get for your phone. You probably have to pay for it, but if you want to know at 2 o'clock in the morning who went through the intersection at 3rd Avenue and 4th Street in Tampa, apparently he can figure it out. So
I think
I guess there's somebody in Colorado. I don't know.
I think we've given up our privacy in the 21st century.
Yeah, it's scary.
And hey, Steve, I have a compliment for you. You know who you remind me of whenever you call, and we just love to hear from you, Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Uh-huh. Are you there?
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, Willie Nelson. He's a happy-go-lucky guy.
Only
And he's filled with all kind of information. Check him out.
Yeah, but I ain't got no Southern drawl. I got a New York accent.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You what?
I don't have no Southern drawl. I got a New York accent.
Well, you definitely have a New York accent, and I didn't mean it in that context, that fashion. It's just your state of mind. You're always so upbeat and filled with so much information, and it was definitely meant as a compliment.
I thought that Willie Nelson was always stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, we'll just forget you said that, Steve.
Yes, but just keep an eye out there for the people that are listening out there. Make sure you challenge this. Don't just go off and pay the money if it was from another state.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a great story, Steve. I mean,
what a story.
That is the reason we love you. You always got something interesting to share with us. I thank you very much.
See, you have so much to share with us.
I always enjoy the show and talking to everybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Willie.
Thanks, Steve.
What is this Dodge Hornet that's coming out?
A Dodge Hornet.
I haven't seen anything on that one. I'll have to do some research.
It's electric.
Woogie.
Oh.
But how could they steal that name? Wasn't there a company back in the 50s that made a Hornet, and AMC made a Hornet?
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Bought AMC.
Jonathan said Hudson.
All right, the commercials are on TV for the Hornet. Check it out. Everybody have a good and safe weekend.
You too, Steve.
Thanks for leaving us with that. Have a great weekend, Steve. We are going to go to John in West Palm Beach and John in Palm City. Hang on. We will be with you shortly. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning. Calling back because the gentleman that was just talking. Florida Turnpike, if you get a ticket or if they're going to send you a picture of your violation.
Yeah.
So if you're on the Turnpike, you get the picture.
Yeah.
How do I know? Because we were towing my son's car, and they tried to charge us for the car on the trailer. So,
really?
And so I took a picture, saw the car, and I didn't see it on the trailer. And I said, well, we'll pay for the trailer, but we're not going to pay for the car that's on the trailer.
Right.
So if they get a notice and there's no picture, it's probably not from Florida.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's that one tidbit. And then the second thing,
Good information, John. Thank you.
He's got
You're
something
welcome.
else. You're,
Yeah, I got something else. I was just trying to remember what it was. It happened to be about the cameras. The lawyer. The only thing he can pull is if the intersection has a camera. So not every intersection will provide them information on if there's an accident. And I believe it's only going to be a still picture, not a video.
okay.
So I don't know how much the lawyer can use from that.
Yeah.
But unless it's taking constant pictures and he gets a whole, ream of still pictures.
Yeah, so he said, she said, who ran the red light, they would probably have the photographic evidence.
I had a video sent of me when I didn't run the red light. Let's just say I rolled through taking a right on red, but they sent me a video of my thing in Juneau. I was caught red-handed.
Yeah.
Well, I praise God for my Tesla because it records everything, and if I run a red light, it's going to be on the camera there.
Yeah.
If I don't, if they try to accuse me and I didn't do it, it's on camera.
There you go.
There you go.
So it's always recording.
Yes.
You can always delete the
Well,
evidence.
that's good. If you're a good guy, that's a good thing. If you're a bad guy, that's a bad thing. I look at it this way. I have nothing to hide, so I've confessed all my crimes. If the cops want to come and get me, they can come and get me. But I don't. Privacy is not a big issue with me.
Well, I record a lot of bad drivers that what they're doing. I'm just wondering if I should post them, saying, hey, look at what this guy did.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's legal or not. Because I see a lot of dumb stuff and it's recorded.
I mean, I liked having a dash cam. I didn't have the built-in one from the Tesla, but having the dash cam I thought was cool. I was just hoping that I would record something extraordinary one day, like a meteor or a train derailment or something.
Plane coming down.
Yeah, just something worth posting.
UFO.
Right, UFO.
Mine doesn't do that 360 view. It only does the sides and the back and the front. And sometimes, because I teach at a high school, I go ahead and sometimes put it on security cam, and caught some of my students leaving school one time.
Uh-oh.
And I said, look, I got the picture right here.
Really?
How does he keep catching us?
Nice.
So, anyways.
Thanks,
all right,
John.
very good.
Appreciate the call.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, John. Thanks for listening. We are going to go to John in Palm City. Good morning, John, and welcome back.
Thank you. I won't hold it because I know the shopping report, but I got such a letter like that from a Baltimore expressway in December, and it was a picture of a large Volvo truck with a license plate with my number on it and top of the press. But let me say this much. There's a lot of license plates, believe it or not. People forge them.
Yeah.
They're not this, the authentic thing. So I wrote him a very nasty letter. It's on a truck and never was in Baltimore whatsoever. And I got a reply back that we're sorry, some kind of error. But I did get one of those and pictured on a big front of a truck, a Volvo truck.
Like there's you and your giant semi.
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, I don't have a truck at all.
Right.
But the question for Rick, I have a Corolla, 104,000 miles on it. Does he think that the spark plug should be changed?
Depending on the year of the Corolla, they're either at 120 or 150,000 miles. I think most of them are 120,000 miles is the recommended time for changing them.
Okay, I'm glad to know that because I got 104,000, and I read somewhere where some cars it's 100,000 that they change them on. But the old days we used to change them every 10, 15,000 miles or regap them. Those days are gone forever, thank God.
Yeah.
Hey, John, well, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
In the Wall Street Journal this morning, there was an article about you start out as a blog, and that was just an online thing, and it's called Bring a Trailer, as in I bought an old car, bring the trailer, pick up the car. And this thing apparently is taken off huge. And the guy that founded it the whole theme is he finds cars like, a movie star drove this car one time, or, I mean, interesting cars. Have you ever heard of that place?
Yes, I have.
Is it
It's
any
all
good?
the time on the internet, and they show the results, some of the publications, and they seem to specialize in different type of cars and some collectible cars.
Yeah.
But I don't trust any of those websites whatsoever.
Yeah, classic and collectible cars.
The millions and millions of dollars of cars, according to the Wall Street Journal, that have been sold on that website are unbelievable. They give you a credit line, and then you bid. It's just an auction, but it isn't true antique cars. In other words, you're not looking at, cherry, perfect 1937 Pontiac or anything like that. You're looking at something that, for whatever reason, this was in a movie, or this was owned by a famous person, or something like that.
Many of them are complete phonies.
Yeah, how do you prove
They
it?
lie about the history of the car.
Yeah.
There's some alterations been made in the firewall plates on it. It's a good website, in my opinion, to stay away from.
Okay, well, thanks.
They
I knew you'd
mentioned
know.
They mentioned Tom Cruise in the article, John, and I guess that gets the, whomever's interested in collectibles and these classic cars, it gets their attention, I guess. But you never know.
Who was the actor in the John Seinfeld show that George said he bought his car, and it was
John Voight.
John Voight's car.
That was hilarious.
Well, Seinfeld himself has been sued because when he sold a group of his Porsches, one of the Porsches was an altered car, and when he bought it that way, and when it got sold at auction, the person sued the auction company and him because the history and the documentation on the car was all falsified. So nobody's exempt from the crooks.
Interesting.
All right, guys, I'm waiting for the copy report.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
You're our best caller. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening. As Earl said, we're going to get to the mystery shopping report. The mystery shopping report took Agent Lightning to Vero Beach, where she shopped Kia of Vero Beach. And for all of you that would love to vote on this mystery shopping report, when Earl has finished it, you can text us at 772-497-6530. And we would definitely love for you to join in and let us know how you feel about the mystery shopping report. Agent Lightning did a great job again. Now back to the recovering car dealer.
I think we have a little bit of time. It's 9:33, and I know we have some text. Our favorite texter emailed this time, and I forwarded that.
Yeah.
So let's hear.
She texted and emailed. She covered all the bases.
Good.
Yes.
She didn't want us to miss this one, and I was starting to feel bad because I thought we're going to miss it. But here we go. This is from Anne-Marie. And Anne-Marie, you thought we weren't going to get to this. Anne-Marie says, good morning. This news story must be a car dealer's nightmare. Thieves stole 6 Dodge Challenger Hellcats from Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Somerset, Kentucky around 2 a.m. on February 28th. Anne-Marie's personal opinion is they had inside information, judging by their speed and efficiency shown on the security camera footage. The 4 Hellcats in the showroom had their keys in them. The thieves located the keys for the 2 Hellcats that were outside. Security video shows the thieves even putting on temporary license tags before driving out of the showroom. The thieves and cars were gone in 40 seconds. Sounds like a movie title, Gone in 40 Seconds. The alarm went off 20 seconds later. Police arrived 3 minutes later, and the thieves were long gone. Police encountered them later in speeds, and the chase apparently reached 180 miles per hour. I think you let them go at that point. You're going to kill everybody. The cars are worth around $600,000. As of March 1st, police have recovered 5 of the 6 Hellcats. 3 were found in Kentucky, and they were stolen in Kentucky, and 1 was in Tennessee and the other in Alabama. Police believe the missing car is in Alabama. So Anne-Marie's question says, you're a car dealer in Florida, not Kentucky. I doubt that you're familiar with Kentucky's laws, so let's assume the theft had taken place in Florida when answering the following questions. 1, if it was your dealership, what could you do to slow thieves like that down? Well, I mean, I think better security, but if it was an inside job like you suspect, I guess there's nothing you can do. We have a key system at our dealership where you have to have a thumbprint that unlocks the drawer, but if you had somebody inside, I could see a way. You know, a determined thief is going to beat most security systems.
You could take a car that you know is a super high demand, super low supply, and you just lock it up.
Yeah.
You don't leave it outside. I assume these Hellcats are rare, unique gems.
Yeah.
And
crazy
so,
that they had that many in February.
Yeah. So back in the day at our dealership, we were having some problems, and professional, because we're in South Florida, and it's so easy to grab a car, throw it on a boat, and next thing you know, it's in Venezuela. And we're a market for professional thieves, because it's once you get to the port and you get on the boat, then
Right.
and
That's
this-
why I thought it was interesting that all the cars were found like within 100
Yeah.
miles. I'm like,
Yeah.
that wouldn't happen here.
Yeah, you can't stop a pro
Really unheard
from
of.
stealing a car. The pros are good, and you have to spend more money than it was worth than have to suffer the loss of a professional car theft. We do, and what most car dealerships should do, is security cams. Typically, it's like your home. If you have the security cams up, the thief is going to go to the house that doesn't have the security cams. Same thing with a car dealership. So we have security cams all over our car dealership. Anybody that walks on or in our car dealership is being videoed. So if someone is either crazy enough or good enough to steal a car and still be shown on video, you can't stop that. Insurance does cover us for stolen cars, yes. We pay the premium. Probably we could go self-insured and we would have been ahead. It's kind of like an extended warranty argument. I say, if you take all the proper precautions, you don't need an extended warranty. I say the same thing with theft.
She has some more questions in here too.
Excuse me for just a second,
Sure.
Stu. And Anne Marie, I'll tell you, many, many, many years ago, when cars were being stolen, there was a time that I went over to the dealership and I'd check each car that was on the lot to see whether or not it had a key. So much has changed about security. And as Earl said, with cameras, and there's ways of getting around this, but it just took me back to that day. And there were a lot of cars being stolen, but definitely not today. Stu?
Just going on with her question, she says if those cars had specific buyers who already put money down, who in the dealership gets to tell the buyers that the cars were stolen? It's probably the salesperson, the sales manager probably tell them to make the hard call. They don't want to deal with themselves. Since those cars were part of a crime, where do they go once they've been recovered? Well, they're owned by the car dealership. I'm sure the police are going to collect whatever evidence they got to collect, and then it goes back to the car dealership. The car dealership is going to inspect it and apply for any damages if there's any insurance claims, if it's even worth it to make an insurance claim. But a lot of times, like Earl was saying down here with the organized crime, and if we ever get a recovery down here, there is not much left of that car. I mean, it's been stripped to hell. That's why I'm surprised that they found intact Hellcats in Kentucky, because they would have been on a ship. They would have been in South America or the Caribbean somewhere, or they would have been taken apart for parts. So, okay, next question. Who pays for the repairs? Insurance. Or the dealership if they choose to do it. And if any of the thieves crashed into someone and injured or killed them, who would likely be responsible for the damages besides the thieves? Well, in our legal system, somebody who gets hurt, they might accuse the dealership and try and sue them because they have deep pockets and say they didn't properly secure the cars. I don't know how far it would go, but
if you left the car out with the keys in it and the engine running, and a kid jumped in the car and ran over somebody, you'd have a serious problem. In fact, insurance probably wouldn't do you any good, because that would be punitive damages because you were negligent in protecting the public by not having the car secured.
But if there was a sophisticated inside caper like Anne-Marie suggests, the dealer's probably off the hook. Wouldn't stop somebody from suing him, but he probably wouldn't have to worry about much.
Yeah.
Okay, and we don't have time for the video, but Amory sent a story of the video, and you could it's on Road and Track, but you could probably just Google it, Hellcat stolen in Kentucky, and it'll show up on in the search results, and you'll probably be able to read it and see a video.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Anne-Marie. That was
Thank you, yeah.
covered well.
Okay, here we get to the mystery shopping report of Kia of Vero Beach. And Vero Beach, if folks from out of the area, is in still kind of South Florida, but it's up the East Coast a little bit toward Orlando, small town. And we shopped the Kia dealer there. We shopped the Kia Telluride because that is one of the top 10 cars of 2023, according to Consumer Reports. And by that, they're talking about safety, reliability, cost of operation, all the above. And it's interesting to see Kia, and also Hyundai had a car that we shopped last week at Mystery Shopping Report. So we did this because we want to see what dealers are charging for low supply, high demand cars. We talked to a woman about her Corvette, trying to buy a Corvette, the epitome of low supply, high demand vehicles. Mystery shop of Kia Vero Beach. I'm speaking in the first person as if I were Agent Lightning. I arrived at Kia Vero Beach in the mid-afternoon, was greeted by a young salesman as soon as I stepped out of my car. He asked if I had an appointment with anyone that day, and I laughed, replying that I had an appointment with him. He smiled wildly and invited me into his desk inside the dealership to get some more information. On our way, he inquired about my interest, to which I mentioned my desire for a Telluride, but not at the market-adjusted price. Don't want to do that. He informed me that they had at least 3 new Tellurides, which is interesting. Car that high demand, low supply, I am surprised that he would have 3. You'll understand more when we get into the shopping report why there were 3 of them there. And they were available, and we proceeded to his desk after he took my license details. On the way to his desk, he asked what I was interested in, and I mentioned that I'd been eyeing the Telluride for quite a while, but didn't want to pay the market adjustments. Once we arrived at his desk, he introduced himself as Ricky and asked for my license. After gathering my information and making a copy of my license, Ricky came back with a few sets of keys. Oh, interesting. A few sets. And we headed outside to the lot where there were 3 Tellurides. Okay. I chose a black 2023 Telluride SX with an MSRP of $47,320. Now, remember that number. Sticker price, Monroney label, $47,320. However, there was an addendum sticker next to the Monroney label that added another $3,000 for door edge guards, door pockets, door pocket protector, pinstripes, nitro-filled tires. I can't believe they're still selling nitrogen.
It's coming back. It's making a big comeback.
Unbelievable.
Is that right?
And 1 year of key replacement. Now there's a doozy. 1 year of key replacement. Although after a year you lose a key, you're just out.
Well, yeah, it's like that's not enough time to lose your key. I've lost my keys once in my life. It took 53 years to do that.
Although there was a line for a market adjustment, there was no dollar figure, only an ambiguous MP.
Market price.
It's like lobster.
Yeah. You guess what this is. Okay, well, you guessed good. During the test drive, we went out quite far down US 1, and then I made a U-turn, headed back to the dealership. Once we arrived, Ricky asked if I wanted him to run some numbers, to which I said yes. He asked if I was looking to finance or pay cash, and I mentioned that it would depend on whether there were any incentives available for financing. Rick said he would go speak with his manager, come up with numbers. After about 5 minutes, Jamar, the sales manager, came back with Ricky and a worksheet. The selling price was MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price, $47,320. To that, they added the full amount of the addendum. That was $2,995, call it $3,000, and $9,999 market adjustment. Let's call that $10,000.
There's your MP right there.
Yeah. So that's what MP stands for. They also tacked on an $899 dealer fee. This is really disgusting. And they even jumped up the government fees. We don't believe that $814 could be legitimate.
I wonder if that's a reaction to what we say on the air.
I don't know.
We say the only thing that's legitimate is sales tax and government fees.
Yeah. I bet it is.
And now they're labeling things government fees.
And they probably stuck in the junk fees, private tag agency, electronic registration fees, electronic filing. I was shocked to see a market adjustment and asked why it was so high. That was the $10,000. Jamar replied that Tellurides were going for $10,000, $15,000, even $20,000 above sticker. And I believe that. I mean, again, high demand, low supply. He also mentioned that I could buy the car and take it to auction and get $66,000 for it easily. Maybe so. I mean, crazy things in this market. I declined, started to stand up, but Jamar asked for a minute and walked away. You know the game, back and forth. A few minutes later, another sales manager sat down with me and wrote down the deal. So we've got three people now. The other sales manager, I don't think has introduced himself yet. He could offer, wrote down the best he could offer, which was $60,000 out the door. He said that would make the market adjustment around $4,000, $39.99, give or take. I said I doubt it because it was still too high for a $47,000 MSRP. He added that he could show me auction slips where used ones were going for more than new. I mean, somehow, I see why he says that. I mean, first of all, if it's true, I don't know. And if it were true, who cares? I mean, who wants to spend that amount of money over sticker price for a new Kia? I declined, said it was too high. I asked if all their cars had a markup. He said only the Tellurides, and I don't even believe that, and the Carnival had markup, but there were no Carnivals available. I haven't heard of the Carnival, but that doesn't mean anything.
Carnival?
Yeah, I know what a Carnival is.
That was a boat.
In conclusion, I had an interesting experience at Kia of Vero Beach. Yes, it was interesting, but the prices were too high for me to consider purchasing a car from them. Now, they got some great pictures here, and
I love that sign. Are you going to show the sign?
yeah, and I'm going to show.
Well, Jonathan, do you have that? Yeah, Jonathan has it on the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
The Carnival is something that looks, I guess it looks kind of like a Sienna. It's like a minivan SUV looking thing.
Okay.
It says here, important. This is sitting on the desk of the sales manager or salesman. Important. Verbal promises are difficult to enforce.
Sure are.
It's, I mean, it's just so blatantly amazing that they would have this sign. And it says, all promises and items due must be documented with our due bill we owe form.
Right.
Now, the sign might as well say, this salesman might lie to you.
Right.
So to keep him from lying to you, or you can't keep him from lying to you, but if he puts the lie in writing, then you can sue us and get your money back. I mean, why would you put a sign like that on a desk? Actually,
it's very good advice.
Actually, it's a good thing.
Right.
But it's like
for
saying,
wrong reasons.
I'm a liar, I'm a cheat. To keep me honest, make me put it in writing and get it signed.
It's like having lunch with a cannibal. They have to put a guard over their muzzle.
I guess the truly crooked salespeople. I'll hold this up. You can't read it, but
you appreciate the muzzle.
Yeah, I'll hold this up, and that's a sign that's on the desk.
Yeah, I think Jonathan has a clear picture.
Oh,
on the screen
okay, good.
here to show, yeah.
And I just, it's embarrassing to me. It embarrasses me being a car dealer that car dealers do these sorts of things, but they do. And they get away with it, and that's the name of the game. And it's voting time. We're probably going to have some time for text after this because it's only 9:49. But let's have some votes come in. Now, remember, we grade on the curve. And remember, there are no perfect dealers.
Right. We grade on the curve. Our listeners.
Yeah, we grade on the curve.
Our listeners tell it like it is.
Well, but no, I'd like you to grade on the curve too, because
all right, again,
if you fail everybody,
You too?
and in my opinion, the ultimate sin is to lie, cheat, and steal. The acceptable sins are to charge way too much money for a car because you can.
Right.
But you tell the person what you're charging. When you hide the fee and conceal it and manipulate, that's bad. If you just say, listen, I know I got a hot car here, the Kia Telluride, and it's going to cost you $10,000 over sticker, take it or leave it. I don't like that, but I'm not going to give him an F. He told it like it is, and you can turn around, go somewhere else.
They have every right to do that.
And shop and get a better price.
Yeah.
So, we will take the votes if they've come in.
Well, with that mitigating admonition, we have an F from Paul Anderson on Facebook.
Paul who?
Paul on Facebook.
Paul
Anderson.
Yeah, Paul Anderson. The reason I say that, he used to be the world's strongest man.
Really?
Yeah, he was from Georgia. He was, all you old timers out there, my hero when I was a kid, when I used to lift weights.
And that's who gave the grade right there?
Was Paul Anderson.
That's a strong grade.
Wow.
That's all I got right now, but I'm going to give him a low passing grade, a D minus.
Okay.
Okay, we got Kirk in West Bygod, Virginia. Kia Vero Beach addendum and market price, plus excessive government fees and more hokey pokey. My lord, where's the kitchen sink? Kia Vero Beach earns the promise of a D minus, but then again, I could be a liar. Truth equals F minus. Negan 1 F. Tired of not buying a car or a truck for a long time. Let's see here. We got Tom Steckel, D minus, just a step away from Hollywood Kia. Donovan, oh, okay, he was in a conversation with Steve Maggs there. Mark Smith, D minus. Rocky Blockatiel, a solid D. Brian Sidlatko, the mystery shop is too easy to grade, F minus. And Mark Ryan, D minus. The scales of supply and demand will shift at some point. And that's what we got for right now. For me, they're playing the usual games, and I would say I'll say the D. I'll give it the D minus grade, meaning if you go there, just be ready for the markups, and if they're not going to do anything, walk away.
Yeah.
But
I would have given a little bit better grade, but the market price thing, I know it added a great dramatic effect for the shopping report. There's suspense. What is MP going to be? But that's even more obscuring. It's less transparency. It's like another label. I mean, that MP could have been anything. It was the mood of the sales manager that day. It's 10,000 a day, just 12,000 on the weekend. I mean,
yeah. But Stu, didn't you mention lobster and market price? I mean, there in that setting in a restaurant, I think that it's under consideration. Right. But when you walk into a dealership, it's
not the same thing.
do you feel like as if that you're blindfolded and you walk in and they can just throw anything at you?
Right.
And it's acceptable.
At no point until you are signing on the dotted line do you actually know what you're paying.
Exactly.
Right.
No limits, and you're wearing a blindfold.
No exaggerations either.
You want my grade? F.
I do.
F.
Miss Nancy gives him an F.
And along with that, go to your Consumer Report, the 2023 Auto Edition, and you can read all about Just Say No to these dealership extras.
Yeah.
Great article.
And it's funny how nitrogen exists after all these years. I guess some people just don't read the paper or don't read the online. They don't read the news. They don't listen to anything. Nitrogen is just...
It's really hard to believe, but you
air.
don't have any other recourse but to think that way.
If they're selling xenon in tires, then I would be impressed.
Yeah.
Another gas, but nitrogen, it's all around us.
Anybody's guess.
I'll give them a D. I mean, that's my lowest. I'm lighter on the punishment scores than most people, but for some reason I got a bad taste. I certainly wouldn't fail them. I wonder if I shouldn't give them a C minus, but I'll give them a D. And I think that what a lot of dealers are hurting themselves unbeknownst. Because when you they had 3 Kia Tellurides in stock, and they're sitting there, and Kia knows they're sitting there. Meanwhile, there's another Kia dealer, or a lot of Kia dealers, that are selling their Kia Telluride. And Kia allocates cars just like Toyota or Honda or all the manufacturers. The faster the dealer sells them, the faster they ship new cars to that dealer. So this Kia Vero Beach, they're probably shooting themselves in the foot here.
Not only that, and
without a doubt.
I don't know what their, obviously know what their financials are, but generally speaking, it makes more sense to turn vehicles faster. In a used car, you want to make room for another one instead of sitting around waiting for that $15,000 deal.
Exactly. Yeah. And then when this is over, if it's ever over, the people that have survived the pandemic and the economic and the environment, the supply chain, the dealers that in that moment in time that are receiving the most cars, they have the lead in the race.
Yeah.
And then it gets competitive again, but they have the cars and the other dealers won't have the cars because of the turn and earn. Yeah.
You know why? Because there's no pay plans based on turn and earn. It's all on gross profit.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
they're killing themselves with their greedy pay plans.
That's a profound statement, and you got to remember this in the service department too, because there's a huge amount of screwing that's going on in the service departments, and everybody in that service drive is on commission. So if you're on commission and you have to feed your family, put food on the table by how much money your check is every week, and you don't sell anything that week, then you're in serious trouble. So it's adversarial. You go in to buy a car, you go in to service a car, you're going to have to pay the highest price they can get from you.
Well, my opinion is this, and that is if you do business right, this is breaking news. If you do business right, that dealer, and I know one, your business will triple. You just simplify things. You pay what you're supposed to pay, MSRP for a vehicle. Your business will triple, quadruple. It's so easy to do business the right way. Now back to the recovering car dealer.
Well, I haven't got anything else. Do we have any text left?
Okay.
Well, we have a really long one, so I don't think we have time for it. We'll get it next week. But I think we're caught up.
I can sing a song.
Okay. Well,
they could play the theme song.
You sang this morning, and we're singing. I want to
cue theme music.
I want to remind everybody. Jonathan just reminded me that we spring forward, hippity hop, spring forward,
and lose sleep.
Yes, that is terrible. I can't afford to lose much more sleep. At any rate, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We had a great time with you. We enjoy your company. Without you guys out there and your phone calls, the show wouldn't be what it is. Stay tuned next week, Saturday morning, same time, 8 a.m., right here on the Oldies Channel.